What you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Hey everybody, I'm Amy Chang, a nurse, a mom, and a health coach, and this is Healthy AF, where honesty and humor and heart meet real talk about feeling good again, inside and out. We're cutting through the noise, dropping the guilt, and reminding you getting healthy isn't about perfection. It's about choosing yourself, one loving decision at a time. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Healthy AF. My name is Amy Chang, and I'm a health coach here with Healthy Life Health and Wellness Coaching. I'm glad you're here. Today is the second podcast in February, and like I told you last week, we are going to be talking all about the theme of the month, love, because it's February and that feels good. So today we're actually going to be talking about service. And I'm going to start with a little story. You know, when we think about service, I want you to just kind of take a minute and do a quick little inventory on all the different areas of your life that you serve. You might serve your family members, your coworkers, your neighbors, your community members, your church members. You serve yourself, although I'm not sure how aware we are all the time of us actually serving ourselves. So there are all kinds of people and places and things that you do and engage in service. And I want to look at where the motivation for that service comes from. You see, sometimes I think we get wrapped up in the doing of service and we forget where the service actually is rooted. Let me share a little story with you. So I am a confirmation mentor at my church, which means every other week for most of the year, I spend time with the 7th, 8th, and 9th graders of our church, walking them through a year of study about the United Methodist Church, which we're a member of, and my specific church. And at the end of that year, after they've learned about the United Methodist Church and about our church in particular, they can decide whether or not they want to become members of our church and the United Methodist Church. And it is a challenging year. Let me say that. This is the second year that I've done this. And I have the distinct pleasure, if you're listening in your ears, that was definitely an air quote moment. It's a distinct pleasure to spend time with these young people as they grow. So this year, I have a table full of 7 boys and me. And it's loud in there, and it's overstimulating. We have 39 kids in a cinder block room with a linoleum floor. There is literally nothing sound absorbent in that entire building. And it is a circus from the time they come in at 5:30 and have their dinner to the time we pretend they're settling down at 6 to really dive into whatever content we're going to be sharing with them that night. And my boys are typical 7th, 8th, and a 9th grader boy. They are bouncing off the walls. They are drawing on Post-it notes and passing it to each other. They are making funny noises. They might respond to funny smells. And I spend my time vacillating between getting completely cracked up at these sweet, sweet, rowdy boys and being really irritated with them and giving them the quit. And motherhood comes, quit it. Stop touching him. No, give me that. No. And then getting cracked up again. This is literally my 2 hours of time every other week with my boys. So one night we were talking about the things that our Christian God inspires us to do. Now, I'd invite you now to, if you cannot relate with the Christian religion, find a way to relate to whatever belief you have. Okay. Because I think that this is fairly easy to understand if you just do a little translating for you. If the Christian theology doesn't work for you, relate to whatever belief system you find attractive for you in your life. So we were talking about kind of the things that as Christians and as United Methodists, we feel called to do. And we had some time where, as a group, my 7 boys and I had papers we could fill out on different ways we could show God's love. And one of the headings was service. And we got to that heading. And again, it was not quiet. Okay. This was not like a study hall. This was like, I can barely hear myself think. And my 7 boys who have been writing down answers and, doing what they do, like, what did you put down? I don't know. For this one, I put that one down. Remember? And our teacher is doing that, they're having all their conversation. And we got to service, and they really wanted to know, like, well, I don't know how to answer this. What's the right answer? I'm like, well, there's no right answer. Just, look in your life, and when I'm coaching them, right? Look in your life, and where do you serve other people? Where do you feel inspired? They're just giving me kind of the deer in headlights looks and screaming across the table at their friends. What do you do? What did you put? And finally, I was kneeling down at the table so I could be eye level with my boys. And the one beside me said, well, what do you do to serve? And it just popped out of my mouth. I said, well, I come here. And all of a sudden, my table of 7 was so intrigued and quiet. And I continued to say, there's no reason for me to be here. I don't have any kids at my house. I come here for you because I love you and I want you to know how loved you are. And in about, 0.4 seconds of silence, they seemed to get it. And then all of a sudden, the explosion of sound happening again in the conversation, and they're trying to figure out what the right answer is for them. The surprising thing that happened was when we wrapped up that night, and all the boys were scrambling to get their papers and their Bibles if they brought them, and their books if they remembered to bring them, and get over to the phone bucket so they could get their phone out and, run out to the cars, because they've had a long day, right? It's been school and then church, and they're ready. One boy got up from the table as I was giving them the whole, like, all right, love you, bye, get out of here. And he looked at me right in the face and he said, thank you. And I said, well, you're welcome. So I know that he got the reason why I showed up. I'll continue to show up, not because it's my most pleasant 2 hours of the every other week, but because I'm very clear that my love for those boys and all the other children in that room, demonstrated by my showing up, has value. It's valuable to me and how I want to contribute. So I'll keep doing it. Where does this play in to the other things that we do in our lives? If you're walking along or, listening in your car, I would invite you to just take a moment and really look at those things that you do for others. It's easier to see there. And ask yourself, in what way am I serving? And is the root of that service a value of love? Usually when we look at motivators, and I look at motivators with people all the time, huge motivator is I like this, maybe even I love it. What else do you love? Do you love paddleboarding? Do you love playing the piano? Do you love your German Shepherd? Do you I don't know. What do you love? And you want more of that. Or it's fear. I'm afraid I'm going to get a heart attack, so I'm going to eat healthy. Or I'm afraid I'm not going to fit into my pants when I want to go to that reunion, so I'm going to, exercise more, whatever. When your root is love, it's a very powerful motivator, but you got to get clear on it. And there are times when you may be in service when it's really uncomfortable, like I am when the volume gets to like 642 inside that room. Very clear on where your motivator is and letting love be that root for your service. So take a peek and look at all the places you're serving and look at your motivator. Is it connected to love? If it is connected to love, is that inspiring for you? What is the impact of really getting that actually you are really doing that because you have love to share with other people? Okay, that's part one. So if you need to pause and write some things down, go ahead. Part two is, how do you serve you? This is harder to see. It can be in the tiniest of things like, well, I brush my teeth every day. Or it can be in the really largest of things like I said no to somebody I really love because I don't want to do that thing that they want me to do. And that's how I serve me. It could be, a big one for me lately has been, no, girl, you are going to sit your butt down when you eat a meal. Yes, I understand it's just a granola bowl. Yes, I understand no one else is here. You are going to sit your fanny bottom down. It's an expression of love that I'm going to serve myself a meal and I'm going to be with myself as I eat. I'm not scrolling. I'm not watching TV. I might have the music on and I could possibly have a dance break in the in-between. But I'm going to be with me. And that is an act of love showed up with the service. It really gets big when I start cooking for myself. I'm very aware that when I cook for myself, it is serving me and it is an act of love. It is an expression of love. That's my motivator because I love my body and I love my mental health and I want to pour into that. So the question is for you, in what way are you serving yourself in love? And if you aren't, if maybe you're serving yourself, but it's not really connected to a value, it's just connected to a mindless habit, what can you explore and how can you connect that service really to the love where it comes from? Or let it go. Maybe you have a habit that you do and it is actually not a service of love, but a service of like, I should do this, obligation. Let it go. Look in your life. What do you absolutely love? Are you eating food you love? Are you doing hobbies you love? I had a client mention to me the other day, I haven't thrifted in so long. I'm like, girl, I love hitting the thrift store, right? That is an act of love. It's a service thing that I do, and it's completely out of love. So take a peek. How are you serving yourself and others? And how is that connected to love? And if it's not, is it time to let it go? I hope that gives you something to think about and something to shift. Last words, this podcast is for you. Yes, you. And it is a service that I give to you very clearly out of love. I'm not here just for me to talk into the void, but I'm here because someone needs something, and I might get to say it. They might need to hear how awesome they are. They might not believe it, but I believe that you are so worthy and you are so loved, and that by me putting this out into the universe, somehow I'm serving you. Thank you again for being with me. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and I'll see you next time on Healthy AF. Thanks for hanging out with me today on Healthy AF. I hope something you heard helps you take one small, kind step toward your healthiest self. If you love this episode, hit subscribe so you never miss a conversation. And if you want more support, head over to myhealthylife.coach to connect with me. Remember, you don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to start choosing you. See you next time.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.